reptilian hybrids, okay, for those that don't know, when God created man and woman, they were in paradise. They were given one order: do not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or you will be kicked out of paradise and you will die. And the most powerful angel of all, Satan, tricked man and woman to eat from that tree of knowledge of good and evil. However, man and woman did participate. They ate, relinquishing their power over to the devil. So instead of serving under God, now they're serving under the devil. Instead of serving under God, who created them, who was good to them, who they knew they can trust, they went to an unknown entity for the desire of knowledge and power. Because the devil said, you'll be like God. You'll have the same power. Which was a lie. We were like gods now, knowing good and evil, but we don't have the power. Instead, we die. They got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, man and woman. Then the devil, Satan, along with other angels, had a rebellion against God. One out of every three were cast out of heaven onto the earth, and they started mingling with the flesh, which they were ordered not to do. It infuriated God so much, it was so disgusting, that God, who doesn't hardly ever do this, sent them to the abyss in an eternal punishment where they cannot be forgiven no matter what. Then he sent a flood and destroyed the earth, because the angels and humans had children on the earth. They were mingling. So they had these giant humanoids. They made the pyramids. They left all this culture behind. There's two religions that are constantly going toe to toe. You got Christianity, real Christianity, God the Father, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. And then you have the other religion, which is, I am God, I am powerful, I am man, I can do anything. Basically. Right now, let me go back. He sent a flood, he killed them all. And somehow or another, the bloodline went on, though in small limitations. And they carried this magic all the way through the stuff they can preserve, and up until now. But about 100 years ago, Aleister Crowley opened the portals, allowing these fallen angels that were in the abyss, that were cursed, to come back through into our realm and start their shit all over again. So since about 1910, 1920, the fallen angels that were cast into the abyss 5,000 years ago, the beginning of mankind, 6,000 years ago, these fallen angels have been released into our world again. They've been making children, this time our physical side, so they can blend in with society. They can talk to each other in their minds through telepathy. And they have the fallen angels' angelic properties in their DNA. But I believe it's less, because that's why they're not giants now. See, an angel can kill 10,000 men, one angel. They're powerful. So when they had a child with a human being, it was a giant, because it was big, powerful, like the angel. They somehow manipulated their size where they're our size. And they've taken over the American government at the top, other countries, other nations at the top, and leading on down to now mayors. They have to control the politics in order to control the world, because one thing that they always do when they're here is seek world domination. Now they're police officers, they're therapists, they're highly involved with the medical community and law enforcement, FBI, CIA, because that's where all the power is at. If you got the medicine, you got the power. If you got the guns and the badge and the authority, you got the power. Now the authority that they have now is more of a dictating authority. It's more by force, by guns. We do things now for the CIA and the FBI because we're forced to now, not because we want to. A long time ago, when America was made, we did things because it was a system of freedom, prosperity. So we did things to keep the system going. But for the last 50, 60, 70 years, it's been done by force. The government has proven time and time again that it is not by we the people. It is not our government. It's foreign. However, it plays the role with society that it's not foreign, that it is our government. It plays a role that we are still free. And people that are desperate believe it. And people that are desperate don't believe it. Everything they do to us is by force. They're starting to tell us where we can work, what we can say. I mean, it's starting to get into the area now where it's starting to become obvious. But they don't care because they're about to do something that's so big, it's going to shake the world and force everybody to welcome in this one world order antichrist system for relief. It's almost like I'm on fire, put some water on me. So we're begging for the water because we're on fire, but the water we're begging for isn't really water. It's gasoline. It looks like water far away. It's in these in these bottles. You see all the water? Put it on me, hurry up. And they pour it on you to put you out, but then you catch on fire even worse because it's not really water, it's gasoline. That's a metaphor. They are following the devil, who is the godfather, the king of sin. Sin is death. Once you involve yourself in sin, there's no other way out of it but to be destroyed. You destroy yourself. It's self-worship. Inward. It's when you're inward. The original frequency was outward. You loved God first, your neighbor second, yourself third. But now people love themselves first, their neighbor second, God third. It's completely reversed. The devil knows he's doomed. The fallen angels know they're doomed. The reptilian hybrids are not doomed, but they are the creation of the doomed ones. The ones that are doomed created them. So if you think they're going to tell them the truth or let them go, you are out of your mind. They need the hybrids to carry out their agenda. The hybrids themselves are cursed. It's called Natash. Natash is when you and me die, God breathed into the nostrils of the first man life. And when we die, our soul, Natash, goes back to the Creator. Hybrids, just like you and me, driving cars, running around like humans, like you and me, they don't have Natash. So when they die, they wander the earth as demonic spirits, craving all the fleshly things that they did when they were in the flesh, yet they can't provide it. So they're tortured. If they continue on the path they're on, they're only going to receive punishment and torture.